You are in demand. Anything sells. Like, just let that land in your body if you want to tap it into your heart. Anchoring into your heart the passion, the love, the desire for why you sell. In the first place, tap your heart, take a deep freaking breath. I want to share with you what it really takes to sell anything. So it doesn't matter what it is that you're selling or how many times you grow and evolve or how long your launch period is. It doesn't matter. Anything sells. Just anchor that. Anything I sell sells. Anything I sell sells. Why? Because you are in demand. And the reason I'm bringing this conversation is like it's energetics, it's strategy, it's embodiment. Like birthing a baby into the world, it takes all of them. If you're here live on Instagram, say hi in the chat. If you're not driving, grab your notebook, a pen, and paper. You're going to write some things down so that you can run and implement today. What is it that you're selling? Why is it that you're selling it? But more than that, when you're growing and evolving and you're dedicated to being obsessed with your body of work, what you sell is going to constantly change, grow, and evolve as you do. So these lies that I used to have is like, you need to niche down, you need to choose one program, you don't want to confuse your audience if you're selling too many things at once. Hi, multi-passionates, we are devoted to this work, so what it is that we're selling is going to change, grow, and evolve. Can I get an amen? Like, amen. So for me, years ago, it would take me 1, 2, or 3 years to get a program that was so near and dear to my heart, like off and running. Like they always sold, but sometimes it would take a long time to sell at the level that I desired. And when we're selling, it's like, I want to help more people, so I want to enroll more students. Who here wants more impact, have a bigger movement that makes bigger waves? Like I'm talking dropping in on an 8-foot wave, right? But if you're constantly growing and evolving and it takes a long time to have the level of clients that your heart knows you're ready for, by the time you get there, you're already growing, evolving, wanting to sell something else. I went from taking 3 years to sell a mastermind at the level that I desired in 2024 to actually deciding to stop selling a multi-6-figure offer because I had outgrown what it was. Now I'm still anchored in amplifying your impact, but what I'm teaching is slightly different. 2, being able to sell a mystery offer where my community has no idea what they're buying, yet they find the link and they pay anyways, not knowing the call times, not knowing how many calls, not knowing what's in it, not knowing what it's about. So how does that happen? Like, how does someone go from taking years to sell an offer to being able to sell it without any details at all? Like, have you ever been in your head about like, what's the marketing? What's the messaging? Who is this for? To who's my niche? Like I was in India, like dying, trying to figure out who's my client avatar. And that practice actually never resonated. What did was building a brand and a movement where my ride or dies were like, whatever she's selling, I want it. Whatever she's creating, I know that I'm going to get transformation, whether it's $33 or $10,000. And so when we're looking at the energetics behind this, it's like being in demand doesn't mean you go viral. It doesn't mean that you have lots of likes and comments. I used to have way more engagement when I wasn't selling than I do now. But if you're trying to sell to everyone, then you speak to no one. So actually low engagement is better for your sales. Even though in our mind we're like, no one's seeing this offer, when truth is your highest caliber clients are watching you right now without saying anything at all. Like 2 days ago, I woke up and someone's like, how do I sign up to work with you one-on-one? Who wants more of that? Just random DMs. How do I work with you one-on-one? How do I sign up for whatever it is you're selling? Is that the vibe? Like, that's the vibe. So I have some notes here that I want to come, but here's the thing. Your energy is going to attract more than your messaging. The frequency, the energetically rich frequency where you are obsessed with the offer. You're creating this offer to lead yourself through it, and you're inviting your community to come with you. And when you do that, what it does is it allows you to keep your energetically rich frequency regardless of if people are buying in the beginning. So I've never had an offer that didn't sell, but I've sometimes had to go 6 weeks with selling one offer. I've never had an offer that didn't sell, but sometimes I had to sell it for 3 years before it hit what I desired, until I realized part of this was my energy behind it and showing up no matter what, if someone was buying, right? And so how can you stay in the frequency of what it is you're selling, regardless of if no one's asking for the link, regardless of anyone's buying, regardless of if it's happening yet? This is what's going to allow you to keep the momentum. But here's the truth. Sometimes the momentum takes a little bit to get started. But who here listening is like, I want to drop an offer and it sells off the charts? Not because she read, he read, they read all the way to the end of the sales page, but because when they opened the email, they felt your passion and they felt your conviction. And this is the congruency that you get to create in whatever it is that you're selling. Where sometimes you sell things that absolutely don't make sense to traditional marketing and growing and scaling your business, but it makes sense here, and then that's what can sell it. But also, it's not about getting more seen. We don't need more visibility to make more sales and serve more clients. What we need is marketing and messaging where they feel and see themselves in your content. Stories that they read and they're like, how does she know that? They read your story and they see themselves. Because more people will buy, the more connected to you that they feel. It's been 3 years since I micro-niched down, and yet my content is selling better than ever before. Not because I niched down, not because I chose one offer, but because I was speaking to the person that I want to sell to. And then that person feels seen in my content and they feel connected to me. So how can they feel connected to you, your heart, your message through what it is you're selling? So where is the connection piece in the way in which you're marketing and in your selling? I'm currently right now in a mini mind hosting for 10 clients where it's like, no, turn up the story. And as we made a couple tweaks to their content, sales came in. As we made a couple tweaks to their strategy, sales come in, because it's like birthing a baby. We need embodiment, we need energetics, we need strategy. Embodiment being who you be, regardless of anyone's buying. Energetics being like, how can you hold the vision, regardless of what's happening outside? And then the strategy piece constantly being refined so that you know what you can do to measure and predict the amount of sales that you're going to get in a launch. And then looking at how many people does your energy and your messaging attract onto a sales page, and is there something off? Are people landing on the sales page, but they're not buying yet? Because that's something that you can shift slightly in the strategy. But if it's just your frequency, you're probably not getting as many leads as you desire. Leads being like, who's that dream person that I want to work with? I call it your let's get lost on an island tribe. These are the people that, like, if the world shut down, like in 2020, You wouldn't mind being stuck in Hawaii with them. Because sometimes we say yes to clients that suck our energetically rich frequency because we say yes to them from a space of lack. So remembering too that when you're selling programs, if your marketing and messaging or energy is attracting more people, but it's not the right people, then it takes away from your frequency and how you show up on a call. And how do you show up on a call if no one comes live? And how do you show up on a call if the entire world is there? The energetically rich frequency is what allows you to stay in it no matter how many people are watching, because one day it's going to be everyone. So we want to make sure that whether we have 10, 20, 50, or 1,000 people in an offer, we stay connected to our heart. Who am I? Why am I here? And what am I rooted in? And this is you being wildly obsessed with your own inner growth, wildly obsessed. And then what it's like in a world that swings left and right, Facebook ads or organic, feminine strategy or masculine, sales calls or no sales calls, like the polarities, what if it's all of them? Like when you birth a baby, you need the masculine and the feminine energy. When you grow a baby, you don't need anything, right? Like your body knows what to do when it's growing a baby. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to talk to your heart and tell it to grow a heart, right? Like grow my baby a heart, grow my baby. You don't have to do that. But when you birth a baby, you need to be embodied. You need to have your energetically rich frequency turned up and on. And you need to have a strategy for what happens when you're contracting and what happens when you're expanding. And they have to all be in coherence. Otherwise, you slow down the process. So the idea, the offer, the retreat, whatever it is you're selling, you can create that, channel it into the computer, write it out, have it all dialed in, the sales page, the launch strategy. But then you need to be able to birth it into the world through the energetics and through the embodiment. So the birthing process, bringing it into fruition where the internal vision is manifested externally with more money and exponentially more clients, we have to really get good at birthing, not just creating, like creating a baby or birthing a baby, two different frequencies, two different efforts and eases, being and doing. In the birthing process, you're being as much as you're doing. And if you try to do more, you can slow things down. You don't need to create more content. You don't need to create more strategy, always. Sometimes it's, I need to be in the void, the space between, before it manifests outwards, right? Before the baby comes, before the clients come, before the income comes. And when you're gathering sales and you're creating momentum, it's easy to stay energetically rich and embodied and excited and passionate and selling and showing up and doing all of the things. But it's in the void that the challenge exists. Same like birthing a baby. In the contraction, when you're waiting for the next push, that's the hardest place to be because it feels like lifetimes. But when I went to watch my birth video, what felt like hours was minutes. When you're in the void, it feels like a long time. But the truth is it's all compounding. And that's what I want you to think about when you're building your business and you're birthing offers into the world. It's all compounding. It's all adding up and it's creating more than you can see in the physical now. Just like your baby's closer to being in your hands, your vision, the amount of money you make, the amount of clients you serve, it's closer than you can see. But how can you stay in alignment and embodied in that during the void, right? This is the hardest part. It's easy when clients are signing up. It's easy when money's coming in because it's gratification, it's excitement, it's a high. But the quicker that you get there happens when you're in the discomfort and you're feeling it. It's bullshit if someone wants to tell you not to have doubt. It's bullshit if someone wants to tell you not to feel lack. Feel those things. Because the reason my baby came quicker, 4 hours, was because I went into the discomfort. It's gonna make me cry. It was not easy to be there, especially when you're waiting for the expansion. It's so hard. But it's like softening into the discomfort is what allows us to expand beyond the limits of the physical mind. And so what I want you to think about is if you're showing up and you're doing the work and you're in your magnetism, is your business holding the level expansion that you're calling in, that you grew into? Does your messaging and your marketing and your sales strategy hold the level that you desire? Do you need more support? Maybe it's just support that you need. I called in a lot of support this time because I knew I couldn't do it alone. And when we do it alone, it takes longer because we can live longer in our head. Going back to the example of birthing a baby, it's really nice when your person comes up and says, take a deep breath. You've tried that before. Why don't you try this? They give you another way because you're so close to what it is that you're doing. You can't always see what someone on the outside can see. And it doesn't mean it removes doubt, fear, scarcity, the desire for more. Like, listen, I'm ready to blow up. I'm ready to blow up. And people are like, oh, you've already blown up. And I'm like, not to the level that I desire to go, but I'm working on allowing my business to expand to the level that I desire. And the shift isn't about you doing more, creating more content, showing up and selling. The shift is having ways for people to pay you where it compounds, where if I find your profile today, I know exactly what it is you're selling. I can click on one post, read it, click the comment word, or go to your profile and pay you because your content is compounding. It's not selling more and it's not creating more content. It could potentially be about refining and mastering the content that you are already creating. Yes, of course, super powerful. But the other thing that I want you to think about too is like, you know how good your offers are. You know how good your offers are. You know how good when someone gets into your world, how obsessed with you they become. They upgrade, they upgrade, they upgrade. But is your content, what you're selling, your brand visualizations, the level of you speaking to her and creating the content for the client, already at the next level that you desire it to be? Is it already there, the next level of what you want your offers to be? Is your content matching where you are, where they are now, or where you are going? Because we want to move forward from where we're going rather than from where we are. And that can be a simple shift. And then finally, you're not here to just be inspirational. I was inspirational for a really long time. You're not here to create teaching content or to warm up your audience or to just be someone they listen to for inspiration. You're here to activate them through your energy, your messaging, your offers, your vision to the level that they click all the way through to buy from you. This is what we want to make more alive: who you be, how you speak, what you share, and how you make them feel seen, heard, understood, activated to the point all the way through to buy, regardless of what you're selling. Because they know, they can feel in their body this is their next move. It's like, I don't know why, but I need to be in your world. There's a reason when people are like, Amber, I'm ready to blow up, they come to me because they see me mastering strategy, embodiment, and the energetics. Because I tell stories, right? I've told you many stories just being here right now. stories from 3 years ago, and stories from last year. So how are we integrating and living out the story that we want to tell in the future? Not just telling the stories of now, what's the story that you want to tell in the future? And how can you make moves to begin to tell that story? Because there's a version out there of you that exists right now that doesn't have to create content, to perform, to show you're the one, to get her to see your value. Because your presence and the way that you show up is felt. So when she lands, he lands, they land onto your content, whether it's a retreat, a mastermind, a low ticket offer, a high ticket offer, they feel I'm meant to be in this room. I don't know why, but I'm meant to be in this room. And oftentimes when my clients buy the mystery offer, they're like, I don't know why, but I need to be in this room. And then they get in this room and they're like, I wouldn't have bought this offer if I knew what it was. But I'm so glad I did because I had this breakthrough, this breakthrough, this breakthrough. Or they come to my retreat and they're like, I can't believe why I signed up and what I actually got. Right? Clients get into your world and they get something so much bigger than they thought possible because of their ability to move. So as you move without knowing why or needing to know the details or understanding, they mirror that back to you. You're a mirror. So the more obsessed you become with your work, the more in demand for what it is you're creating that you are, that mirrors back to them. You are the mirror for them to see. You're the reflection. And this is where they can feel even more connected to you, with you. And when you're in demand, it's not about you being everywhere all the time. It's about you being there in the moment that they need or desire what it is you're selling. They think of you when they think about what it is that they desire because your marketing, your messaging is so clear. I'm the person that you hire when. The amount of people that come in and they say, I bought because of this story. I bought because of this thing that you said in the past. I bought because your dad died. I bought because you live in Costa Rica. I bought because of the... So like, how much can you weave your story in? And it's not about like, oh, look at me. This is my story. This is the story. This is how it relates to them. So speaking to the one, not everyone, that you want to call in through your stories allows you to speak to many different people. And this is the movement where it doesn't matter how many times you grow, change, and evolve, you're compounding and speaking to different types of clients, different types of buyers based on who you be and how you move, what you learn. And then you attract those into your life. And that's how we gather a bigger movement. That's how we exponentially sell more times in one offer. That's how we make 3 times, 5 times more money. Is telling more stories that mirror back, but it positions to them in a way that it emotionally anchors, where it's like you're not even doing anything and they think about you the moment that their body feels activated to move. So it's the activation. And then using this to create demand for your movement, where you grow, you shape, you shift, you evolve, and they're inspired to move with you. I just want you to take a moment and feel in your body what it would be like to have sales coming in all day long. And many different types of offers where you don't have to continue to burn it down or start over, micro niche down, put yourself into another box, or try to figure it out. But rather, you embody your mission and your movement. And you devote yourself to the inner growth, to manifest, co-create the external growth, where it doesn't matter what you're selling, they buy. And I'm going to break this down for you in the in-demand masterclass. It's just $47 today, going to rise to $97. Comment demand below for this activation. that you can go out and implement, where 2025 is yours and mine. Our in-demand air. Whether you're selling a mystery offer, a retreat, a meditation course, a high-ticket mastermind, you have more coming to you because of your devotion to the art that you're creating in your evolution that never has to be burnt down again, but actually it's just composted. And every time you compost something and you let it go, you get to rebuild with the soil that is even richer. And when you master this, your energetically rich frequency, the embodiment of your work aligned with sacred strategy to sell and serve more, is what's going to take you and your business to the next freaking level. I'm so excited for this in-demand masterclass because I created it strategically and specifically after being in the birthday party mini mind and learning from the other 10 clients that I'm working with what they need, with where they're at, with what I'm seeing. This is the power of leading programs and learning from the clients that you're serving and then recreating for one to many. Where the mini mind was in depth, me in their back pocket every day for 30 days. And from that, I gathered the richness of what I learned about me and my clients and created the in-demand masterclass. And you get to learn it for $47, what they invested to be in this container with me, having me in their pocket, on their content, in their minds, in their hearts. Comment demand, and I will see you next week. Bye.